Okay, this is for Senator Chris Murphy. I'm in Connecticut. He's my senator. This is National Science Foundation, Smithsonian, all of our money for Washington, D.C., trying to figure out what's going on with the samples they brought back from Bennu. Now, I'll show them to you. This has cost us well over $1 billion. He's my senator, and you should contact yours as well. Okay, this is what they brought back from Bennu. They landed a craft on Bennu, which is this right here. And they popped in and they went deep inside. They didn't realize they were going to go that deep. They went in, they grabbed something, pulled it back, came back to Earth with us. Now, this is well over $1 billion worth of research going on here. Here's what they came back with. Now, when they examined it, they found these white layers. They called it a phosphate surprise. Never expected that. And then these little blocky things. They don't know what to expect about that either. They also found that 14 out of the 20 amino acids they found, which is all the building blocks of life. And they are complex little molecules. They don't just happen by accident. They found those. They found a phosphate surprise, which is actually phosphorus. And all membranes are made out of phosphorus, phospholipid membranes. That's a membrane. These blocks, which are these, are sarcomeres. Another membrane, some more sarcomeres. What are sarcomeres? Well, they're heart muscle, because it's a heart. That's a heart. And here's heart muscle. All right, let's take a look at it. Here's those phosphate layers. And they're slippery little layers. And they're membranes. And between them is the sarcomeres that pull in and out like this. This is a heart attack victim, and they ripped the heart failure. Now, these are the blocks, though, that we're talking about. So you're going to have a phosphate layer, you're going to have these little blocky things, and you're going to have another phosphate layer and some more. And there's a whole batch of them. I mean, it goes forever. What they came back with was they came down and they grabbed a hold of that stuff and came back to Earth with it. And when they splayed it out on the table, here it is. It's the same stuff. It's the exact same stuff. All right, not only that, hearts, that's a heart. Now, it's in space, I know. I don't care. That is not my issue. That's not my problem. This is what it is. If you can't deal with it, then you're just not dealing with reality. This is my issue. These are the valves. That's a heart valve right there. And that blood could come this way. That one's a valve going that way. I believe this is the aorta, the big one. And this is all crusted with literally blood. What they brought back is the blood. And I sent them all the samples. Before they even came back with it, I sent exactly what they were going to find, all 3 different phases of the blood, the serum, the plasma, the whole blood, all the different metals and minerals that they would find, and they found every one of them. And I didn't think they would go deep in and get a chunk of muscle, but they did. They came back with muscle. Now, billions of dollars, or well over $1 billion, to do this, and then have them say, they blocked me so I can't discuss this. It was on a live thing the other day, and I was a little aggressive, and I said, please, I asked, I was trying to be nice, and then, I started getting a little testy, and then they blocked me. But this is what hearts are. This is what a heart is. That's what a heart is. This is what it looks like, and that's what psyche is, which is another heart in space. And I know exactly why this breaks off where it breaks off is because of something called iron banding. I've shown that, which is the 2 different phases of the blood, the black and the red, snap apart. And they just the heart falls right apart, just like that. The top comes right off. You see this? We send out all these fancy probes. They can't tell that that's not a little tube coming out. That's not an impact crater. And these aren't either. These are valves. That is the muscle attachment to the tendon right there. This is tendon. These are the different colors of blood, which is the red, the yellow, and the black is the different phases of blood. There's another tube sticking out. These little craters are not necessarily from impacts. Some might be, but a lot of them are from blood popping this way, popping out. because it's boiled out as they cook in space. And at a certain point, it'll become sort of coated and cooked on the surface, and that's what you have here. This is Psyche. That thing is monstrous. I believe it's 140 miles across. Now, these things were written of in the past, and they're on Earth, too. This is a gigantic heart here on Earth somewhere. I can't remember where it is. But I have stuff here in my own shop. I have everything. That's a hair follicle. I don't know if it's from a human or not. But it's absolutely no question whatsoever. Hair follicle, sebaceous gland, all that stuff. Now, not having this stuff be allowed to be examined because it's too spectacular. Yeah, it's spectacular. It's crazy. That's just what it is. They talked about battles in the heavens and all this stuff. And if they can't investigate this at the Senate, they did some big congressional investigation about sea serpents or something a while back, and they allowed that to be talked about. If we can't allow this to be talked about when the samples are here on Earth from $1 billion mission, and we can't allow it to be talked about because it's too spectacular, that's when I lose faith in government. Okay, my friends, I sent this to Christopher Murphy, Senator. He's my senator, and I asked for help. And I got a sort of a form letter back. I can't speak to everybody, so we're going to really fight and try to get more money for funding for science and education and NASA and all these things, which I got a real problem with all of them, 100% of them. So I sent back and I said, I want you to do something here, not just this form letter. This is wonderful, but it means absolutely nothing. It's a non-response. So I said, I am an independent researcher. As you see, I cover all areas in science, everything. I need your help. You're my senator. I need your help. I want to speak to Senator Murphy about refusals to examine scientifically validated specimens found on my property in Middletown. I have Triassic rock here. I have a human footprint in it, but nobody will examine it. I have DNA-tested human soft tissue fossils, and my specimens change a lot of what is taught. Therefore, they refuse to be seen. We need research, yes, not simply more money. I see no action about looking into the reality. I want truth, that's all. Attached are some pictures of my claims, and the video I am doing now, which is this video, will elaborate. I will send a link. By the way, billions of dollars, or at least billion plus, spent on Bennu samples, and it is biological. Muscle, as you will see. I should put its muscle, as you will see. As my senator, I expect a response just to that part alone. Thank you, Senator. I await your response. This is quite serious. My research has been denied for 15 years by every part of the research society, which looks only for funding as far as I'm concerned. That's all I have found. Self-interest in funding, awards, plaques, recognition, status, that's it. And everybody else gets crushed down, no matter whether you come with evidence or not. And that's been the way it's been since Velikovsky has been just totally destroyed by academia. This is the problem, is academia. And until we can open that stuff up to true scientific, valid stuff, like the things that I'm showing. This is not just something that isn't real. This is real. That's a gigantic heart laying here, and that's the lung that went along with it. And they're all over Earth. I have them here in my shop. But this is a hair follicle, giant hair follicle. I have a fingertip that's 3 feet long, one fingertip. It's been DNA tested. I have other ones that are big, not quite that big, DNA tested. And I have some of them CAT scanned. The ones that are a fingertip about this big was CAT scanned. I have a lung right here. And they were all different size creatures. As flat as a pancake because of the Great Flood. This is all things that they cannot accept. And after I presented all my stuff to Yale, they wrote a paper on it saying, yes, these things can preserve in this manner exceptional preservation of soft-bodied creatures promoted by silica-rich oceans. Just look it up. But that was a year after I had presented all my stuff to them, had all papers done, my DNA tests, my CAT scans, specimens, all presented to Yale University, and they basically told me to go away. Now, and then they wrote that paper and were funded by NASA. Now, this is not right, Senator Christopher Murphy. It's just not right. So I want you to step in and at least say, we want to examine this. Or you just get back to me. I'll talk to you one-on-one. And we'll discuss it, and then I'll put in, make another video about what your response was. That's all. I just want this to be examined. If you can't see that that is this, and inside of there they found DNA, they found RNA, they found uracil, they found 16,000 organic molecules, they found the phosphate layers, the membranes, the sarcomeres, and they can't accept it. And you look at it, and any anatomist would know that's a heart. It's just, and so with this one here, I mean, it's just what it is. And there's so much more to this. And this all points back to mythology being some factual evidence to support it about battles in the heavens and all that stuff. This is just, it's earth-shattering. It's as deep as it gets on every level. And you, as my senator, Christopher Murphy, I expect some response. All right, and I await that. So this video is going to go up, and I hope you take a look at it, and I await your response. Thank you, sir.